Hey you guys, what up, what up? It's Peak out here in Singapore. I wanted to come at you again tonight. Been thinking a lot, and I know that in order for me to want someone to hold me accountable, I gotta face a lot of demons. I gotta face up to a lot of my own bullshit. So, Trident Fitness started off to be something fun. Yes, I wanted to work out, and honestly speaking, I had every intention of working out. And I've started and stopped so many times. You know me, I start and stop all the time. But what seems to be kicking me in my ass a lot is the fact that I haven't faced up to why I want to work out. Sure, okay, it stands to reason. I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, I want to look good, whatever. But why is it that I absolutely must get up every day and work out? And that's the problem I'm not finding the solution for at the moment. So, in the meantime, I want to talk to you about holding myself accountable because that's what the group was for, right? I created a group so that I could hold myself accountable. I have a couple of accountability partners in my life as well where one person who will check in on me every so often. And if I don't check in, I check in with her. But the point is, I wouldn't be able to have those kinds of relationships unless I opened up and said, hey, I want this. I need you to do this for me. I need to give someone permission to hold me accountable. There are a lot of times in our lives where we want to tell somebody how what we see that they're, maybe they're slipping, maybe they're distracted, maybe they're not getting, what they could be getting done. But we don't feel comfortable enough to say those things because maybe we don't have that kind of a relationship with those people. We're not close enough to be able to tell them those things where they would take it seriously from us, which is why we end up having silly conversations like, no offense, but I don't want to hurt your feelings, but, all of those lead-in sentences that already start us off on the wrong foot. Let me give you an example. There are people in my life which I wish I could tell them, hey, you know what? I love you. You're amazing. But I feel like you set yourself up for failure because you don't set the bar very high. You only set it to a limit where you know you can amaze people and win with flying colors or win by a mile, by a landslide, whatever the cliche is. You win by a landslide, basically. You do so well that people didn't expect you to win, and then you feel good about yourself. But is that really testing yourself? I want to be able to tell this person this, but I know that it won't be received well. So I keep my mouth shut because for fear of destroying that relationship, I just let it be. Because we barely speak. I know, knowing what I do in my life, I know teaching emotional intelligence is something I need to handle, but right now, I can't handle it. I'm going to let it be. I'm not going to poke the hornet's nest. I'm not going to make it worse. I'm just going to let it be because I was not invited to weigh in. And that's something that we need to really wrestle with. That's something we really need to think about. I can't blame anyone around me for not stopping me from making a stupid mistake unless I give them the trust, give them the space to be able to speak up about my life. But a lot of times we do that, don't we? We build a wall and we say, you know what, don't you dare judge my life. You have no idea what I'm dealing with. But then when they need us, when we need them to hold us accountable, to let us know we're fucking up or whatever, they're not allowed to do that. Case in point, I have a client of mine who, as vibrant a soul as she is, she does not take criticism well. She only calls when she wants to vent about something. And that's great. That's fine. I understand. She's one of those people that, she doesn't pay me for counseling, but we trade services. Okay? So when she calls, I know she's got something on her mind. And I normally, take a step down and I listen. I make sure she understands that she's being heard, she's being supported. I just keep quiet. But for the most part, where I could be calling her out on her bullshit, I don't. Because I get the impression that I'm not invited to hold her accountable for nothing. I am allowed to give her sound advice on what she could do moving forward. I do not get the impression that I am allowed to tell her what she's doing currently is driving people away. So I save my peace. I'm not trying to be rude or disheartening. I'm not trying to lead her astray by any means, but I do not feel welcome to give that kind of advice. Sometimes people need to give you permission to hold you accountable. For me, I take that very seriously because as an empath, I know what it's like to battle your own demons. Sometimes you know what the problem is, but you're not ready to solve that problem yet. You're trying to solve something else instead. And so I need to give you the space to get it together. And then when you're ready to face those demons, you come ask me for my help. One demon at a time, one dragon at a time. Let's say, for instance, you've got, a business you're running and you really want that business to succeed. You've got it running for, it's been great for a while. You're trying to level up or whatever. And because you're dealing with that beast, you let your weight slide a little bit. You let your eating habits slide a little bit. We are not very good at multitasking. We're not built to multitask. So unless we set aside time and space for each of these things throughout the day, we tend to focus on one thing and one thing only. Now, within that one thing, there's probably many things. Within a business, there's, processes, there's email marketing, there's a funnel, there's tripwires, there's courses and offers and challenges, all kinds of shit to do, right? But it's still within the sphere of career, okay? So if you have all of these little things within this one section of your life, unless you learn how to plan really, really well, something's going to fall by the wayside. I've told you about this when I was reading Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes. She herself said it. She can't be the amazing writer that she is and be the best mommy in the world. She has to be one or the other in any given moment. She has to choose in any given moment. And it's like that for all of us. We're just not taught how to manage a priority list. We're just not taught how to focus on one thing, finish it, turn to the next thing, finish that, turn to the next thing, finish that. And a lot of times it's because our work is never done. Our work is never done. The next day we got to write copy again. The next day we got to make sure emails go out again. There's a lot of things to do within that spheres. So I know what it's like. Unless you're ready to face certain demons, you're not going to want any unwanted advice. Unless you tell people, hey, okay, I'm ready to tackle this next. I would love your support and your help. I would love for you to hold me accountable. I don't feel comfortable personally doing that for you. Because who knows where you are in your journey. Some people want to call it, I'm a fat bitch or whatever. I'm a skinny bitch and I hate it. I'm ugly bitch and I hate it. Okay, maybe that's how you motivate yourself, but you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing any of that or using any of those terms or holding you accountable for your weight or your nutrition or your business or your emotional health, your relationships in your life until you tell me that's what you're focusing on. That's how much I respect y'all. That's what I understand of this whole journey that is life. It took me a very long time to come to a place where I was ready to hear criticism about how I was parenting. I know in the first couple of years when I came back to Singapore, I was a shitty mom. I wasn't that great. I was deflecting a lot. I was hiding a lot. Why? Because it hurt. It hurt. And I wasn't in a very good place to be able to really take care of my child. And I let my mom take care of her and my brother take care of her and a maid take care of her. And it wasn't like I was going out drinking or anything, but I was stuck in my room behind a TV screen. I was not present when I could have been more present. I've had problems with phones where I'd be on the phone the whole time and baby girl's over here like, mommy, mommy, mommy. And I'm like mad at her because I just want to be on my phone. But eventually, once I snapped out of that shit and saw what I was doing, I was able to admit that I had fucked up. And at that point, I was okay with allowing people to weigh in on what I was doing and how bad I was. Let's face it, nobody wants to hear that they're doing bad at something. So unless you tell me, hey, you acknowledge it, now you want me to hold you accountable, I don't feel comfortable jumping in that way. With this fitness group, what I see is a lot of people that are in the group but not doing nothing. I see a couple of people who are checking in every day, and I love that. I really love the energy. I really appreciate the fact that they're checking in every day. The accountability group is meant to be a place where you tell us what you need from us. Don't just check in and tell me what you're doing. Ask me, hey, I need you to check on me if I haven't weighed in by a certain time. I need you to tell me, hey, have you done this? Have you done that? Check on me. That's what I mean by accountability. But they don't know that unless you put it out there. My accountability partner, when it comes to my business, I let her know when I've done things, when I've completed things. Once in a while, I will reach out to her and say, hey, good morning. You know what? I'm ready. This is what I got on my plate. And I'll let her know as I get things done. But more often than not, She doesn't check in when I don't write back. And that's okay. She's got her own stuff to do, but the bottom line is I haven't told her that you need to pull me up. You need to, check in on me. You got to like yell at me, you got to cuss me out. That's not her job though. At some point I've got to find that determination for myself, that motivation for myself. I got to push myself. Because no one lives inside this head but me. Worst enemy or best friend, it doesn't matter. It's just me. I got to figure this out for myself. And a lot of times, unless I give people the permission to hold me accountable, and I mean really hold me accountable, it's not going to get done. It's not going to be what I need it to be unless I tell them what I need. So if you really want progress in this world, in this life, if you really want people to really hold you to a higher standard, you got to explain to them what that is. You got to know it for yourself, and then you got to explain it to them so that they understand. If I don't show up here by this time, you need to check on me. Send a search party. Send a voice message. Call me. Whatever. You got to tell them exactly what it needs to look like for you, because for each person it will be different. Some people, they need tough love. Some people, they need someone to yell at them. Some people, they need just someone to check in very gently. Hey, have you done this yet? Hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? Some people don't need any of that stuff. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. I'm trying to get to that level, to be honest. But until then, I need to be very honest about how I ask for help. If I'm asking you to hold me accountable, I need to tell you exactly what that looks like. If I don't check in, somebody needs to call me out. Call me out in front of the whole group and be like, hey, how come you haven't checked in yet? How come it's been 2 days? And unless I give people that permission, they won't know that it's okay to do that, which then it becomes a real tough love accountability group. Now, I don't want to force anyone to do anything. But if you really need help, I want to make sure you know I'm there for you. So remember, when you ask for help, you need to tell them exactly what you're looking for. But before you can even do that, you need to know exactly what you need. You need to know about yourself. How do you learn best? Do you need pressure? Do you not need pressure? Do you like being micromanaged, or you don't need to be micromanaged? What do you need? How do you work best? What is the optimal condition under which you need to work? You need feedback from people? You need someone to message you good morning every morning just to check on you? What do you need? You need to be able to eloquently say that out loud. Please, by all means, ask for help. But be very specific about how you need that help. What exactly that's supposed to look like. All right? I'll catch you again soon. Bye.